This game has leaderboards.
Of course it does.
For speedrunning.
Can you also not delete your save file? God damn it, Capcom. The only way they can fucking win people's good graces is by releasing a game they know people like.
That's the only reason I still like Capcom.
I'm surprised they didn't release a fucking HD remake of Resident Evil 6.
They will when in 4K curve vision or whatever. Anyway, this is Resident Evil Remake HD. So, does that mean...
the official... Well, I saw the official Steam name is actually not very, it's not SEO friendly. It was called Resident Evil / Biohazard Remaster in capital letters.
HD, yeah. Same thing with the Resident Evil 4 that came out recently, which is another one of their games they keep re-releasing.
Oh, yeah. Because people like it.
Anyway, before we even start, Levi,
yes.
I have to give a shout out to my friend Brian Lee and his lady friend Michelle. He literally bought me this, just out of nowhere because he wanted me to play it for my YouTube channel.
Is this Brian Lee, monk from the future, Brian
He
Lee?
is. He was like, gosh, Ben, I need you to be playing that Resident Evil. And I was like, sure thing, Brian. Apparently, he and his girlfriend Michelle are huge Tenfei fans. I had no idea. Tommy of Tenfei fame said he went and hung out with him the other night and they were just watching my Ocarina of Time playthrough. And I was like, you're in that.
Well, to be fair, I only watch your videos that I'm in, which is why I haven't watched it in 6 fucking months.
That's true. I'm glad it's you that's over here, Levi, because you're the least Resident Evil compliant friend I have.
I've never played a Resident Evil for more than 5 minutes. I borrowed Resident Evil 4 from you for the GameCube, played it for about 20 minutes, and
hated it.
I just couldn't get into it.
You just threw it in my face. You're like, get this shit out of my GameCube.
And then I tried to play RE5 Mercenaries. Is that what it's called? Mercenaries mode?
Yeah.
And I can't do it with the controls, man.
Well, you'd probably like this version then, but we'll get into that in a second.
Yes.
Okay, before you unlock the actual difficulty choices, this is how you pick your difficulty on a new playthrough.
So it's very obvious which one is which. But.
Also, the original didn't have taking a walk. It had hike and mountain climbing. Hike is easy. Mountain climbing is normal. And then this is actually a new very easy, which I haven't played yet, but I imagine you just have rocket launcher arms. So
you're just the nemesis.
We'll play on normal. Of course, you can unlock 2 higher difficulties. One makes the item boxes not linked together, and one of them makes the enemies invisible.
Jesus Christ.
Alright, another way you choose your difficulty is choice of character. So you can be Jill Valentine, or you can be Chris. The differences between them, Jill... First of all, the biggest difference is Jill has 2 more inventory slots.
Okay.
Because ladies have more hiding places than men.
Fair enough. And she has a purse, probably.
Jill also has, a familiar in the form of Barry Burton, who does the most shit for you, nonstop. I like to think he circles around you like fucking turtle shells in Mario Kart. Barry Burton is Jill Valentine's stand, basically. And I'm gonna need fan art of that from anybody watching. Jill gets a grenade launcher that Chris never gets.
To start with, or just later on?
Not very far into the game. And
but it's only in a place she can get?
Yeah, and it's the best, most versatile, easy to carry around weapon in the game.
Okay.
She starts with a lockpick. Well, Barry gives it to her 2 seconds to the game. While Chris has to find keys to unlock certain doors.
Okay.
Only disadvantages of Jill is she has less health and she deals less damage. Her knife isn't as big and girthy as Chris's. They actually have different knives.
There's a different range or just different damage?
Different range and damage.
Oh, okay.
That's the only... And she doesn't have a lighter. Chris starts with a Zippo lighter.
Okay.
Instead of a lockpick. He has less inventory spaces. His knife deals more damage. His partner is Rebecca Chambers, who's an 18-year-old college, high school prodigy, chemist who got into stars because she's a field medic.
Okay.
That's his partner.
What is the Zippo for? What is the Zippo give?
Lighting shit up.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, a cool thing in this is you can play as their BSAA outfits from Resident Evil 5 by default.
Oh, that's cool.
So see, you could see the difference between Chris. This is what Chris Redfield looked like all the way up till Resident Evil 5 came out, and then he just looked like this.
Yeah, he looks like every 2000s action movie star, basically.
He fucking creatined it up and was lifting. I'll let you decide. I'm gonna play as Chris because it's I'm good at the game.
You're a professional.
Yeah, I got a lot of elite skills.
I say go with OG Chris.
Alright, he looks so more earnest.
Yeah, he does.
He looks a lot like Tommy that we were talking about earlier.
He does.
Okay, while we watch the intro, I'm not going to skip any of the cutscenes, but I'm going to talk over them because I've seen them a million times.
Yeah, and I can figure out the story.
So, while this is going on, what do you know about Resident Evil?
Okay, the franchise or just this game? What I know about this game, it takes place mostly in a mansion, yes? Mm-hmm. Jill Sandwich, that comes from this, right?
Well, we won't be seeing that. That's Jill. That's Barry Burton's son.
Okay, and
that's the other thing Barry gives you is comedy gold.
And Barry Burton. I know Barry Burton from this. And is he only in this game or only features prominently in this game?
Yeah, for a while, they added him in a couple of other things as an extra. The newest Resident Evil that's coming out, Revelations 2, you can actually play, like, Barry Burton as part of the main story.
Interesting.
But
is he kind of like a hunk character where he's like, he has a large fan base?
Yeah, because he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know why they had to bring him back. They got desperate.
Is this... Alright, obviously not this version, but the original version of the first Resident Evil, is it the one that had the live action scenes in it? Okay.
This opening cinema, it's actually, I like it a lot better than this one.
Right.
Also,
so when did they start this? This
is from 2002.
The GameCube remake.
Yeah.
So the GameCube remake is this game. This is just a remastered HD version of the GameCube, but the game and gameplay and cutscenes are all the same.
Or it might be a remaster of the Wii re-release of the GameCube game.
Jesus Christ!
Because they re-released the GameCube game on the Wii with Wii controls. So
all right, what version? Like, how counting this? How many versions of Resident Evil 1 have there been?
There was Resident Evil.
Yes.
Okay, Resident Evil. Then there was Resident Evil Director's Cut.
Okay.
Then there was a PC version of Resident Evil, which had a couple exclusive things, and a Saturn version that has an exclusive battle mode. It also has the exclusive looks uglier and sin is fucking unplayable. Because I played it on Penguin Sega Saturn, and I said it was god awful.
Jesus.
Then there's the 2002. If fans call it remake, capital R-E-make.
Yeah.
There was the Nintendo DS has Deadly Silence, which is
sounds like a silent scope.
It's because DS games had to have DS in their title at the time.
Yes.
It's a port of the '96 original. It plays better. They added some new features and functionality to it.
Okay.
Then there's the Wii re-release of this game of 2002 with new play control, I think it's called. And then this version, which is on the new consoles and the PC.
Okay, I wasn't keeping track, but that's literally like 9 versions of this game. Is it that good? You really like Resident Evil 2, I'm aware.
Resident Evil 2 is
the best.
Resident Evil 2 is the best. Well, what? See, here's the thing. Before Remake, 2 was clearly the best. And I still love 2. But the remake of 1 is a better game.
Okay.
Especially if someone's never played Resident Evil. Because if you set someone down with 1996 Resident Evil...
It's a fucking nightmare.
You can't skip the dialogue, and it's fucking god-awful.
Okay.
But this version's a lot better. It's tit for tat.
Have they done a HD remake of Resident Evil 2?
No. Because if they had, you'd know it. Because
that's why
I would be in this room playing it nonstop.
So have they ever done a re-release of any kind of 2?
2 was ported to the Dreamcast, and it's also ported to the Nintendo 64 with exclusive features.
That it doesn't fucking work? Is that the feature?
It's amazing. They compressed a 2 CD game onto a Nintendo 64 cartridge. Like it's compressed as shit. It's like playing a Sega CD game, but it's
like playing Night Trap.
And it has the GameCube version, which is the best version, and the reason. I mean, I love that game, and I beat it a million times, but the GameCube version of RE2 is the only one that lets you skip every dialogue scene in the game. I can beat the whole game in like less than an hour.
So, all your videos and stuff, like the original OMG Hunk, what version were you playing?
GameCube.
Gotcha.
Alright, so now that I'm actually controlling the character, we can talk about some of the differences. First of all...
It looks very nice.
It does. This game is really pretty. We're only playing it at 720 because we're playing it on my old plasma TV right now. But when I played it on my computer earlier, spoilers, I may have played it a little bit earlier.
You played Resident Evil before?
I played it in 1080, and it was very pretty. First and foremost, Chris had a gun in the opening.
Yes.
In every version of this game, Jill starts with a gun and a knife, but Chris only has his survival knife.
Also, he has a knife on his chest.
Yeah, that's his extra knife.
That's his backup knife.
That's for cheap.
That's his fashion knife.
So here's the biggest change, I think, in this version. If I use the cross pad on the controller, it's tank controls. I have to spin and run. I have to hold down a separate run button.
Traditional Resident Evil controls.
If I use the stick, I can make him just move in any direction. It's really, really hard to get used to for somebody who's played a lot of old.
Like for me, I'd probably pick it up immediately.
The hardest thing is, like when I go to change camera angles, like if the camera angle, it fucks you up.
Oh, I see.
But here's the weird thing. If I hold, like right now I'm going to hold down to change the camera angle. If I don't let go of the button, he won't change direction. But if I do let go of it and hit down, he does.
So it keeps your cardinal direction until you change.
It like compensates for it.
That's interesting.
It's very hard to get used to. Outbreak had something similar. Resident Evil Outbreak and Fall 2 had freeform control like this. And after you get used to it, it makes the game a lot easier because you can, bebop, scat, and juke around, motherfucker.
Jesus Christ.
It also kind of ruins your immersion. Because instead of being like, oh, what a mansion. Oh, I hope this isn't my blood. Chris instead is like, oh, Lord Jesus, help me, there's zombies. Just don't fail me now.
Do me a favor, stand in one spot and just spin in a circle.
He's like, oh God, Jill, Barry, oh God, I'm scared. They're like, did you see anything? He's like, no, but this room big.
A moth flew at me. Get it off.
There's lightning. I'm so scared.
Okay. So,
also, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We weren't paying attention to the story. I don't feel like this is how a tactical unit does this. They walked into the mansion. They saw Barry's missing.
Yes.
They heard gunfire. So Wesker's like, you by yourself, Chris, go and investigate that. Me and Jill are going to stand in the hall. Like, that's literally what they're doing. They're not even talking. It's awkward silence.
Well, I guess that's one of those kind of game tropes that you have to get used to where, like, someone's, like, just standing there waiting for you to come up and talk to them so they can be like, please, you have to help me find my 4 kids. And then they're like, okay. And then they just stand there looking worried until you bring back their 4 kids.
Also, Chris's knife is exclusive to him. Apparently it's from when he was in the Air Force. One thing I've noticed in this version is because the models are so much better, I can actually read this shit.
Oh, I imagine it's just kind of a white smudge on the original.
Yeah, because when I would play the original on this TV, it's blown, because it's like 480 or whatever. It's blown up, and I'm like, the hell does that say?
Okay, so just so we're clear, so the viewers are clear, you obviously know Resident Evil pretty well. Like, I would consider you an expert. You might not be like a fucking, like, uber fan level expert on like all the lore or whatever, but you've played a shitload of Resident Evil. I know very little about anything. I know what I've seen in the videos you've made.
Resident Evil is probably my favorite video game of all time is Link to the Past.
Sure.
But Resident Evil is probably my favorite game franchise.
Okay.
Like, I've probably played more hours of Resident Evil games than any other.
With maybe Dark Souls being a close second.
By the way, y'all, if you're getting impatient watching this, I'm not going to just stand around bullshitting with Levi all the time. We're just getting the formalities out of the way.
Yeah, he's going to walk around and play the game while bullshitting with me.
Yeah.
But, okay, so, because I know this is a very iconic scene. I remember watching the extended play, it may have been X-Play at this point, review of the GameCube version of this game, and every review of that game had to show that clip of the first zombie. Also, is this the game where when you walk by the window several times and the dogs jump out?
Yeah, it actually plays on that trope, and I'll show you when we get to it. This game is it has everything of the original, but it adds so much new stuff that it's really good. I'll try to keep up with explaining what's new.
Yes.
So far, everything we've done is exactly what you do in the original.
Just looking nicer.
Yeah. And with slightly better voice acting. I also love the super professional Tape holding like his knife to his
holding
chest.
his ceremonial knife.
So
gun.
That's Jill's handgun. It's just laying there. And Jill and Wesker are missing now. So
they're missing. It's
the I can't. Why am I having such a hard time talking? It's a Beretta. It's a Custom Stars Beretta. It's actually got a lot of lore in Resident Evil. It's called the Samurai Edge.
Okay.
And Barry, who's like a super gun nut, actually had the Kendo gun shop, which is the gun shop from the opening of Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
He had Robert Kendo and his brother custom make a different samurai edge for every STARS member based on, like, how he observed them shooting and what they needed in their guns.
So they all have, like, various, like, weight and, like, cosmetic differences and performance differences. Mm-hmm. That's really interesting.
Also, if I could own any fictional, like, weapon or gun, it would be the Samurai Edge. I think it looks super fucking cool.
Very nice.
It was originally, you learned the name of it in Resident Evil 3. In Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil 1, it's just called the Beretta, and it's just a generic black Beretta.
Okay.
But in Resident Evil 3, Jill has this handgun, and you find a note from the Kendo gun shop in the STARS office where he's like, I finished the Samurai Edge, son, hate bag, get it done.
So, 2 unrelated questions. One, is Resident Evil 4 the first main entry in the series that starts the third-person follow-behind camera angle?
Over the shoulder, yeah. It's Resident Evil 4, it's not... Oh, yeah, we can examine Kenneth's body. He has a tape on him.
He also has a broke fucking neck.
It's like what is that, a mini cassette or something?
Yeah, it looks like the kind of cassettes you would put in answering machines back in, like, the 90s.
Kenneth and Joseph, there's 2 STARS teams, Alpha, that's who Wesker's the captain of, and Chris and them is on, and then Bravo, the people they came to find in the woods.
So Bravo's the red shirts, basically?
Yeah. They both had a person with a camera mounted on their shoulder constantly recording, and that was Kenneth laying there. Joseph was their team's guy, and in the opening, if you notice what we're talking
dog.
Yeah.
I saw it said Joseph F on the camera footage.
Also, he had a shotgun, and he just gets eat up.
Okay, Joseph? So that was the first question. Second question. I feel like you don't talk about Resident Evil 3 very much. What's up with Resident Evil 3?
I really like Resident Evil 3. I have a full playthrough of it on my channel under 10-Face Streamy Goodness back when I used to actually stream before my internet became too dildos to do it. Also, zombies take a shitload of bullets in this version of the game. But here's the thing. Your character has a chance of getting a crit headshot that blows their head off, and it's the most amazing thing. And I feel like Chris has a higher rate of doing it than Jill. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, not only is this movement thing amazing, they added this to this game, and I don't know why it took this long to put this in a Resident Evil. It used to be, if I wanted to reload, I had to click on that, and drag it over to my gun.
Sure.
Or if the gun emptied, it would automatically reload. Right. Now, you can just hit a button and reload at any time.
And it took 9 remakes of this
Well,
game.
the DS version has that as well, the Deadly Silence.
Okay.
Also, if you look in that mirror, you can see zombies' feet. Oh, another thing is, see how it's widescreen? The way they achieve this is, you'll notice the camera kind of pans around, like it just did right there.
Yeah.
It's only doing that to compensate for the fact that it's basically kind of zoomed in to get widescreen. And so during certain points, it pans.
In like the normal version, this would be a static camera angle.
Yeah, it never really pans like that. It does in Resident Evil 0, which is the other GameCube one that uses the same engine.
Is 0 the one that has parts that take place on like a train or something?
Yeah, see, I got a critical headshot.
Nice.
Those are very important for something later, because it turns out that the zombies you kill, they don't necessarily stay dead. Sometimes they get worse. But I'll leave that. I'll let
is that like the like the red zombies or whatever they're called? Okay. What was my? That's a fancy dagger. He should put that in his chest sleeve.
It's a self-defense weapon.
It's actually a weapon. It's not used for some puzzle.
If you get grabbed by an enemy and you have one, you can use it to knock the enemy off of you without taking damage.
Nice.
Both Chris and Jill can get generic daggers, but Chris can get flash grenades, and Jill can get batteries for a stun gun. Which every time you use the stun gun, it drains the entire battery, apparently.
Jesus Christ.
I guess she's got to overclock that shit. She's got to download new stun gun drivers, son. She's like, Barry, can you tune up my stun gun? And he's like, get that shit out of my face. It's like, where's your samurai edge? I'm Barry fucking Burton. We're going to knife fight this guy because there are steps. And for some reason in Resident Evil games, zombies just can't grab you on steps, but they can spew acid on you.
Jesus Christ.
Or I guess it's just, like stomach acid.
Yeah.
But still, for some reason, I love his downward thrust. It's like so dramatic.
God damn it. Okay, so there's no kind of aiming in these games, right? Like
Not
it's literally
in these
just
ones,
you either
no.
you're shooting the zombie or you're not shooting.
The first mainline one to let you free aim your gun was RE4.
Gotcha.
Yeah, RE4 is accredited with like popularizing the third person over the shoulder shooter that you see so common now.
Really?
But there was actually a game, was it Kill.Switch, that actually like pioneered it, but it doesn't really get as much credit.
That's a series, isn't it? I think it's is it a... Oh, no. I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of Dot Hack, which is a whole different game. Yeah, Kill Switch. That's like the third-person military shooter. Mm-hmm. I actually played that. It was pretty fun. But I think, personally, that the best third-person shooter of all time is Gears of War 2. Gears of War 2 is really... Gears of War 2 Horde mode is fucking phenomenal.
I've said it before, but I own Gears of War 2. I bought it back when it was new and y'all were playing it a lot. Yeah. I have never played anything other than Horde mode.
I bought it for Horde mode. I did eventually with my roommate at the time, Pat, who features briefly in day 12 of Mario.
Of 12 Days of Mario, yeah. Because we're in his living room.
Yeah, but I played through the campaign co-op with him, which is fun. I like co-op campaigns. But I bought that game for Horde mode, and I never played the regular multiplayer. I never played like fucking Deathmatch or whatever, or King of the Hill.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
But I mean, fucking me, you, Noah, and Jeff maybe, and everybody playing Horde mode in the mansion map. Some of the most fun I've ever had playing a game.
Also featured in OMG Carmine.
Yeah. Also, one of the first times I fucking, almost, passed out from laughing was watching you play.
It's the first time I realized that I could make people laugh while playing video games.
Yeah, because I think at that point in time when we were playing that, you just had, OMG Hunk.
I don't think I had a...
Oh, that wasn't even up yet?
Yeah. So, there's an item in here, but... getting it is almost pointless. It's a self-defense dagger. This is supposed to teach you how they work and how to use them, but it's such bullshit because you get this dagger and then there's a static cutscene where a zombie basically gets all up in your shit right here. Where if it was actual gameplay, you could do something about this.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Because once it goes back and actually play and you don't have enough time to get around him, maybe I can. Oh, shit. Oh wow.
Nice.
I feel I'm such a pro, son. Put that in a demo reel. There was a map up in that urn. I'm not going to bother with it.
Could you get it right then?
Yeah, you have to push that little stand thing over in front of it. This is the infamous hallway from Resident Evil 1 where the dogs jump through the windows, and it was the first jump scare people experienced in video games.
Yeah.
And so people always talk about it.
But it doesn't happen this time, right? It happens later on.
Yeah, this is where they play with your expectations, is as you're running through this hallway, the windows crack slightly, but on this first run through, nothing actually jumps through. And you actually don't ever have to come back to this hallway if you don't want to,
So it's really when you're stumbling around, not knowing where to go, when you're thinking about other things that fucking get you.
Should we even talk about how there are just fully loaded magazines for your specific handgun laying around this mansion?
Your specific custom-made, one-of-a-kind handgun?
Which, one of the stipulations Barry had was it had to chamber the same... Hey, Chris, how you doing? The same 9mm Parabellum or whatever rounds that this RPD's standard officer's guns use.
Nice.
So
all of that is standard.
Also, you could unlock Barry's Samurai Edge that he doesn't even use in the game. You can unlock it as a bonus. It's fires a 3-round burst and has infinite ammo.
Shit.
And it's actually called the Samurai Edge Barry Edition.
Would you buy Resident Evil Remake? That's Resident Evil Barry Edition.
I would. It's like Final Fight Guy, Resident Evil Barry. Hey, Zombie Man. This cutscene plays out very different between Chris and Jill. As Chris, you actually maintain control of him, which you can grab this key and run out of here if you're really quick. As Jill, the cutscene continues. She backs up to the sink. The zombie falls down. She stomps his head and kills him, and then she runs over to the toilet and vomits.
Shit.
But
then you don't have to fight the zombie, I guess?
Yeah. Now, as Chris, when I run past that room, that zombie's going to bust out, which I don't have to come back here, so it doesn't matter.
I've always appreciated the cleverness of the loading screens for these games, or this game, I guess.
Best handcart.
I just really thought the idea of, the video of opening a door or walking stairs is clever. A good way to hide it.
So I need that herbicide, and there are dogs out there. If the camera angle changes, which there are green herbs over there too, if the camera angle changes, they attack you. But you can grab it without changing the camera angle by bebopping and scatting like this. And you can actually leave, and the dogs never actually get a chance to attack.
But I guess you can't.
He's so mad over there.
I guess it's impossible to get the green herbs.
Yeah.
Doing that trick.
Which, my fucking 6-item inventory is full. I can't believe they kept that. With no way to expand your inventory. Every other Resident Evil has like a way to do that. There he is, son. He's pissed.
He is pissed.
He's livid.
You said one of the higher difficulties is something about the inventory boxes don't link?
Yeah, the item boxes that you can store all your shit in that magically connect to each other. It's called Real Survivor Mode. It disables auto-aim, and your items don't link together between boxes.
Oh, meaning like boxes in the world that you can store. I thought you meant like in your inventory. Like boxes in the world that you store.
The item crates.
Gotcha.
See how the camera just panned up? We just ran past a room, by the way, that has a shotgun in it. But unfortunately, it's booby-trapped. And if we were Jill, Barry would save us from the booby-trap. But because we are Chris, we can't actually get it right now.
Is it the one where like the ceiling or the walls or what? Yeah.
Do a little bit of star fight, motherfucker. Deal with it. Come at me, bro. So I'm going to burn the most calories fighting this son of a bitch. So my fuck calf muscles. I'm fucking kick a zombie's head off by the time I'm done. Get back here. I'm trying to cut your asshole.
Okay, is Honk's first appearance in RE2?
Yeah.
That's some bright bulbs.
They really are. It's very handy that the electricity is still working in this place, but I guess there wouldn't... It is... The disaster is contained to this area, so I guess it's not like a epidemic. I can't tell if he's dead yet or not.
Is there ever any mention of like the G virus or anything in this game, or is that Star Wars?
In this one, this remake, there is, but the G virus is introduced in Resident Evil 2.
Gotcha.
But they talk about
retroactively added it to remakes of the first one.
Yeah, they talk about the origins of it in this. Now, if I was super pro, it's very important that I kill these other 2 zombies near his body.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that I'll show you as soon as I'm done with this.
As soon as you fuck it up.
Yeah. I'm probably going to have to... Yeah. Oh. God damn it. That's the first time I got hit, isn't it?
I think so.
Motherfuckers. God. Alright, we're going to have the blat blat.
Blat blat!
Here at the beginning of the game, ammo is pretty rare, so you don't want to just go fucking crazy, but when you're backed into a corner, you know...
Quite literally.
Yeah, don't feel bad. Fall down sometime, sweetheart, I was about to say. If you 2 die right here, it'll be actually very convenient for... Oh, God! Well, how the hell did I manage that? Alright, good. His head exploded, so it doesn't matter where he died. Let's get this other guy back to the stairs. I would not be doing any of this if I was playing as Jill. Because I'd already have a shotgun, and I'd be fucking running around like Wesley from Wanted through the hallways, fucking just destroying zombies.
And you said it would be even more impossible to kill them with a knife with Jill. Right?
Yeah. They did add an achievement to this version of beating the game with only the knife. So whenever I go to attempt that, I'm definitely gonna do it as Chris. All right, good. They've died being best friends.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, well, why don't you just ruin the professionalism of this playthrough? All right, it should be. There's a small key right there.
Pretty sweet typewriter. So. Is that the save point, the typewriter?
Yeah.
Like on
they kept the whole ink ribbon typewriter save thing. Alright. So these are the item boxes. They're like a Resident Evil staple.
Gotcha.
Alright.
I like the flask that was on the table back there.
Yeah. I have a very specific way I organize my inventory that I have to follow.
I see that.
The reason this is like this is because that's for my handgun, and that's for my handgun magazine, that's for my shotgun, that's for my shotgun shells.
Fair enough.
Ink ribbon is always the first item with a survival knife under it, and then healing items are above that in descending order of potency.
So first aid spray is the lowest?
No, it's the highest.
Gotcha,
yeah.
Okay. Kind of like how in my binder that has all my Pokemon cards in it, I leave spaces for the ones that I don't have, and they're in numbered order.
Alright. Oh yeah, so we talked about earlier, Chris starts with a lighter. Let's take a look at it. Lighter of lighter! What the hell does that mean? The one Jill finds, actually, it belongs to a character that's part of the lore. He's not actually present in the game. It's the guy that built this mansion, George Trevor. But it has an inscription from her wife, and I don't remember what it says. It's something like, don't burn the fucking house down, or something like that. So we just picked up a flask which we can put kerosene in.
Yeah, I noticed they called it a fuel canteen.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's a flask.
So what you do use that for is when you down a regular zombie, if you don't incinerate them, then over time they have a chance of coming back as crimson heads. So we want to burn, and if we're lucky using this, because you only get so many uses of the canteen, hopefully this will set them both on fire.
Gotcha. And you said because the other one got his head popped, he can't come back anyway.
Yeah, but look at that shit.
Well, that was some bullshit.
They were up each other's asshole.
It's like the evil within.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking ripoff.
So here's the thing, that giant canister of kerosene by the door, getting those 2 charges out of it used half of it. So now I can refill that flask with 2 more charges, and then this thing is empty. Jesus. And there's only a few of these in the entire game, so it's very hard to burn every zombie in the game.
Like, it's literally, it would be impossible if you didn't do things like that.
I never
chemical
noticed,
to use on plants.
I never noticed the name of that. Do I need this old key right this second? See, as Chris, you've got to plan your damn inventory out. I don't think I need this little key right this second, so...
Well, where's the next item box?
Oh, on the other side of the fucking mansion.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember all the doors that I need those fucking things to unlock. Alright. Well, this area is completely clear to zombies, and we don't have to worry about any crimson heads, because I blatted one, and then the other ones I burnt.
Blah, blah.
Pop, pop, watching motherfuckers draw. Alright.
Oh, Community, the new season has a date to come back. I don't remember what it is. I think March, maybe?
He was standing there so formally.
He was.
He's so pissed. He's livid. This Night of the Livid Dead.
I can't tell if this mansion's really dirty or just, like, old. Like, I can't tell what...
It's just a mansion. I mean, it can only be so...
True. There's no such thing as a new mansion.
Could you live in a big mansion like this, or would it be too weird?
I think it'd be weird. It'd be like owning, like, a historic house. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there has to be ghosts in it, right? Like, it has to be haunted.
Yeah.
I think any house over 100 years old is haunted.
This is the thing about the herbs of Resident Evil. Spoilers, they're green and they look like marijuana. That's the joke. Alright.
Are they all green? Aren't there red herbs?
They're red and blue, but is there...
There's blue?
Yeah, it cures poison.
Jesus.
I didn't realize it was such a startling discovery. There's a plank of wood out here in this hallway that we could go burn a map onto, but I'm not going to bother with it. It's laying right there. There's another zombie right there.
Is that the guy that busted out of the bathroom? It looks like
nah, there's only like 3 models of zombies.
Still?
Yeah. I used the sword key. I like to think it's a little sword.
I like to think it's just a sword that he fucking hacks through the door with. Or it's a keyblade.
If it was Resident Evil Outbreak, son, I could.
Oh, Resident Evil Outbreak. That's a game I never played, but still remember fondly somehow.
Because I talk about it a lot, because I fucking love that shit. Alright.
What was the other one? Like, File 2?
Yeah, and there was going to be a File 3, but then they can't have good things.
But then they remembered it might be good.
Yeah. Alright, where are you at?
I like Chris coming in just immediately fucking...
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
In this place? I love the little dust he kicks up. I attest that, like, Remake on the GameCube is, like, one of the best looking video games ever made. Like...
Yeah, especially, I mean, for the time. It still looks pretty good now, but...
God damn it, it's the, speaking of my love of Resident Evil, the reason I bought a GameCube was for Remake. Like, I remember, I was... What year? Remake came out in 2002, so I was a senior in high school, and I remember seeing that shit, and I was like, the hell? I was like, I gotta give me one in there GameCube, son. I think they were on sale for like $99.
Yeah, I bought my GameCube when they dropped, like the price permanently dropped to $99, and I literally bought my GameCube for Beautiful Joe, because I wanted to play Beautiful Joe.
Shit, yeah, Beautiful Joe.
But I also just happened to get a GameCube that had the Zelda collection disc. It's like, fuck this.
He just stands there like a cat knocking something off his shelf. Alright. That statue was holding a blue gem, and I means to have it.
Oh, and also that Zelda collection disc on the GameCube is the biggest bunch of bullshit, because it doesn't have Link to the Past because Link to the Past was on GBA at the time, and so they wanted to something they could sell. They wanted to sell.
It's the reason no games have other games in them anymore. Also, I need that little fucking key right here. Luckily, the other item room is below me, but I'm still pissed.
You mean like how in like original Animal Crossing you could get like arcade games and stuff? Yeah.
You can unlock all kinds of shit. Like Metroid Prime has original Metroid locked in it. You just had to link to a Game Boy Advance that had like Metroid Fusion connected, and you could unlock that shit.
Do you remember? I think it was around the time of the GBA. They sold that like card reader thing, and you could buy the cards with like Excite Bike and stuff.
Yeah,
but they were so fucking expensive.
There's a bunch of serums here. I need them for later, but Chris doesn't know that, so I'm not allowed to pick them up.
Really?
Yeah, god damn it. Alright, I need that little key.
So this is the other item box. How many are there?
There are 2 in the mansion, 1 in the guardhouse, 1 in the woods area in the cabin, like 1 in the lab, 1 in the sewers. They're as you go throughout the game.
Wait, so you have to use an item to save?
Yeah, you have a limited number of saves. That's a Resident Evil staple. All the way up to 4 was the first to get rid of it. They were typewriters, but they didn't have a limitation on them.
So, okay, I understand there's a limited number of slots, but like there's a limited number of times you can save?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And on harder difficulties, you get a lot less.
That makes sense, but God.
It's fair to add to the tension, and
Sure.
it does. That zombie right there, if you try to burn him, always gets up. That one laying on the floor right there.
That's one that was already laying there, like you didn't put him there.
Alright, the less zombies I could kill with this handgun, the better off we'll be in the long run. Right.
So you said the zombies when they turn red or whatever, does that count zombies that are still alive? Like not ones that
you have to kill them first.
Okay.
Alright, this part I fucking hate. The dogs in this game are a lot harder than they were in the old games. Because in the old games you could stun them with like handgun shots. But in this one, these dogs are going to come battered around this corner, and I'm going to start unloading on them, and they're not going to give a shit. They're going to run up and grab me anyway. Well, his pathfinding went pants on head. God. Safe. Use the dagger, Chris. The dagger.
You have it. You have several.
Why are you not using the safe? The hell's wrong with you? Okay, I got really lucky right there. Oh, that actually... I've been hit twice. I forgot I got hit by a zombie. I got vomited on.
You got vomited.
Luckily, there's some green herbs growing here that I can use.
I like that without pulling them out of the ground, he just fucking shoves his face into the planter box.
So I had to blow that whistle to get this dog collar. The dog collar can be examined and has...
drugs in it.
Yes.
It's just full of cocaine.
It's PCP. It makes you super strong. You don't give a shit about zombies. A coin in it, and then you examine the coin, and it's an imitation of the armor key.
Jesus Christ.
Imitation of a key.
So that you can never say that Resident Evil like went crazy with puzzles. Like they've been crazy from the fucking beginning.
Yeah, well that shit's not in the original. All this dog shit. This
really?
area I'm in right here is completely new.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at those walls. Those walls just look so gross.
Yeah. This place probably hasn't been cleaned in a while.
True.
Crowd's too fucking dead.